Hey everybody. So apparently, I haven't Googled it, but like my couple of my friends both told me and I've seen it. So apparently it's National Orgasm Day. If it's not, every day should be. But so I just thought I'd hop on and talk about orgasms because that's what I do. Hopefully somebody's gonna come play with me. If not, I'll just talk to myself a little bit. If you're joining the replay, say hi. If you feel like something I say could enliven someone's life, please share this video. If you want to read some juicy content, you can go to my blog. I just posted, I only put part of it on Facebook because I didn't want to get Facebook banned. So you can read the rest of it on the blog about kind of about what a full body orgasm feels like. So yeah, let's talk pleasure. So my upcoming course, Pleasure, is about sex and how to have bigger, better, deeper orgasms and more connected, intimate relationships. However, it's not only about sex, and it's actually kind of covers all the bases: spiritual, emotional, and physical. So is it physical? And will we talk mechanics and all kinds of things, sex? Absolutely. But we will also do the emotional work that is required to get you to submit to your own divine masculine inside. Those of you that haven't heard me blab about this before, we each have the yin and the yang inside us, divine masculine, divine feminine. And most of us, my journey was kind of coming from a very wounded feminine. I had a lot of daddy issues, a lot of man issues, man hating, emasculating qualities, and it showed up all over my life. And I thought my problem was money. I thought my problem was like all these things. And it turned out like looking at my feminine, and looking at the daddy wounds and the God wounds, was life-changing for me. It completely changed my marriage. It was what allowed me to submit and to surrender and to have all these different kind of orgasms, which I now teach to women. And so we do the emotional work and the spiritual work of, achieving this inner union, this empowered state, like being in your radiant feminine so that you can really show up. A lot of the symptoms of not being embodied, like not fully being in your power, not being fully orgasmic, or, being shy and unable to be seen, hey Lisa, hey Eve, I don't know if you guys are still here, but thanks for joining. Not showing up fully in your business, or not, if you are, you feel like you're not seen, afraid to be seen in the bedroom. Like how you show up in the bedroom is how you show up everywhere. So when we have these walls up emotionally, in sex, they kind of show up everywhere. And when our heart's not open during sex, it's probably not open anywhere else either. It's hard to let in money, or if we do let it in, we don't let it stay around. We tend to, emasculate men and money. If you guys, I have a free group, Money Dominatrix. You guys can pop over there. I did a live post this week about emasculating men and money. By just changing that one habit, you can change your life, quite honestly. So if anyone's on here and has anything they want to talk about or discuss, let me know so I don't just keep blabbing into the infinities. What else? So how does an orgasm help you in these different areas? Well, as women, we are sexual creatures. So it's not just men that need sex, it's women too. And so for a state of health, women need to be orgasmic. And I don't mean just clitorally orgasmic. I mean deep, penetrative orgasms are supremely healing to women. And with all of the women's issues that are very rampant, hormonal issues and all kinds of things, in the sacral area with menstrual issues and just I'm losing my train of thought with that ding. Sex is a big healing part of it. And I've explained on some other lives how actually, not only because women need sex, but because the vagina is structurally, energetically linked to the entire body. So by just having sex, she's using reflexology to stimulate all of her. So you can literally work on different parts of the body, different health issues that are going on with a woman through vaginal massage, through intention, through yoni eggs, through a yoni wand, through actual sex with a partner or sex with herself, pleasure with herself. So it's very essential to health and well-being. It keeps a woman's beauty radiant. Women that are not well pleasured, I say everything's fun and games until you're 30, till you turn like 35, and then suddenly like one day you're gonna wake up and like the aging starts. I have seen my aging reverse itself in the last 2 years. Like I was starting to like look older, and this was when I was not. This was before my kind of transformation, and the more pleasured I am, I think everybody can have their own opinion, but I've seen my face respond differently. Women look brighter. They show up differently when they have a healthy sex life. And you don't need a partner for that. It can just be you. Like, you get to please yourself. And I recommend that even with a partner, you have to know how to turn you on and how to get your own juices flowing. And you get to give that to you. How is sex and orgasm beneficial to wealth? So when a woman can't really receive penetrations, and when she's not orgasmic, she's really not open. And yeah, we can go to a job and get money. We can hustle and get money, but I'm talking like wealthy, in a wealthy state of mind, creating how she wants to create, and being able to hold on to it. You know, a lot of times we can let money come in and we let it go out just as quickly because we're not able to hold it. Wealth to me is like being able to hold it and be wise with it also, and not just like throw it away and be irresponsible, but it's just a balancing, you know, act, and learning how to surrender and let in these deeper orgasms actually not only lets you begin to be able to receive deeper, but lets you receive sensation. Most of us walk around not feeling very good, and we're used to that. Like, that's our normal state. So my prescription for my women that I work with is always pleasure. Like, pleasure comes first, and that's backwards to what we're taught. And orgasmic states require that you hold more sensation, more pleasure in the body. And I know in my case, I used to stop myself. Like, if I knew I was getting close to like a big, huge orgasm, it's very overwhelming. And I at first used to stop. Like, I would want to stop. And the same for some of my clients. Like, same reason why we self-sabotage in business, or when things get too good, you know, Gay Hendricks calls it the, God, what does he call it? When things get too good, we get like we basically screw it up. So we feel bad again. Like, our havingness level is capped. And orgasms help you to hold more good sensation, because we're so used to, whether we like it or not, we're actually used to not feeling good. So the way I teach it is kind of shadow alchemy, and then sensation alchemy. And so that opens you up to more of all the good things in your life. You can hold more love. You can be present for more good things, not for just the bad. And so how does orgasms and sex help women in business? Marketing, baby. The vagina is linked to energetically to your throat. So a woman that's shut down in the bedroom is going to not be able to speak her truth. She's going to not have good boundaries. She's not going to show up, and she's not going to say, like, she's going to be afraid to really say what needs to be said. She's going to hold back. She's not going to be in full faith and confidence and surrendered to her divinity, through the divine masculine within her that's trying to show her the way and lead her. She's going to be, hey, Leah, thanks for joining. She's going to be in control instead of surrendered. She's going to probably be in hustle mode. She's going to be, and I'm describing myself before I've been through all of this. I still have to practice on not doing it like the old ways, and to really surrender and relax and be in the state of confidence and flow, as opposed to coming from the more wounded aspect of like trying to, control and do all the right, like do it the right way, and instead of really listening and trusting and doing it the aligned way. So she just shows up differently. A well-pleasured woman in business is going to show up in her strength and without shame, and be able to be seen, right? And be in her soul striptease, like bare her soul, because she's no longer worried. It's very unapologetic. So being well-pleasured in business is, like, I think hands down the number one thing that women need to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Link between the bedroom and the boardroom. That's one of my things that if I've said it on my website, it's somewhere, because how we show up in there is how we show up in life. And it was certainly the case for me. And I see it all over the place. And I didn't think I had a problem. This is the funny thing. I didn't think I was showing up like insecurely, but I was big time. So I've done a lot of work on this, which is why I'm here speaking to Facebook land every day about orgasms, because I'm very passionate about this, that is where you find your power is through your pussy, quite honestly. And yeah, so a woman that is in that sort of place within herself, within her body, she's able to like be present. And I think that's really powerful. And it becomes not about the money, like we all think money's the problem. I thought money was the problem. Money's not the problem. And when you shift your perception around, it's still about the money because it's business, but it's also not about the money. If that makes any sense. It makes sense to me, because I used to have a big problem with pricing, and I felt guilty getting paid, but I knew I wanted to be paid well. I was in this all over the place mode, and that guilt that shows up is a huge indicator. So I felt guilty. Now it's like not a big deal. Like I expect. But the kicker for me was if I was doing a job, or like when I was in, a doctor in a practice, like I didn't have a problem with somebody paying me for that. I was like, no, that's not a big deal. I get paid for that. But it was when I showed up for myself in this business online, in what I really wanted to do, that getting paid became a problem. Like I felt guilty. It was like, I call it the whore wound. It was like getting paid for pleasure for what I really wanted to be doing made me like brought up all of my shit. Like it felt really uncomfortable. I had to really work through that. So where, like, getting paid for pleasure, quite literally, because my work like gives me workgasms. I love my work. I love my clients. I love showing up for it. I love writing and I love doing all the things I do. And there's a part of it that's like, ooh, can you get paid for that? Doesn't that make you a whore? You know, like, and quite literally, I guess I get paid to have sex, quite honestly, because I have a lot of sex, and that's what I do for work, is teach other people how to have sex. So I practice a lot. And yeah, so I had to work through that wound. So see if that's showing up somewhere for you, this like tiny little shame and guilt that, can it be good? Like, can I actually make money doing what makes me happy? I don't have to like go do stuff I don't want to do all day. So that was a big one for me. So what else, if anyone's still here? Maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but I can see like an eyeball, but then it doesn't show me who that eyeball is. So if you're here, say hi if like anything's resonating, if you want me to talk about anything else. What else did I talk on all my subjects? Health, wealth, and business. I mean, obviously enjoying sex and being easy to please and looking at sex differently can most certainly shift a marriage. If you've been in the fizzled out stage, if you've been with somebody forever and now you're more like roommates, and you would rather think of your grocery list than be present during sex, then absolutely you need to be in my course. And just be reminded of like who you are and your pleasure. I was talking to friends about this. You know, we're all mothers now, and when we were not mothers, we were wild and fun, and we didn't have to think about children. And it's like we became mothers and we suddenly forgot that girl. Who said we had to do that? Like, we brought that upon ourselves. I think it's been passed down like, oh, now you're a mother, you can't be sexy anymore. You can't enjoy your husband, or you can't go have fun and dance anymore. Those are terrible rules for mothers, right? And those are like big things I worked on, and we had this conversation, and it was like, it's like the mother and the maiden. You have to still be both. You can't just be mom all the time. Mom is not sexy. Like, I don't know any woman that gets turned on by being called mom all day. I did not. I actually made my husband start calling me by my first name, because he always called me, you know, like addressed me as mom for the kids or something. And I made him start calling me by my name, because that was like, oh, I'm a woman again. Like, that was a big deal. It's like little things that make a difference. Elia, I had to scroll up. Still you, okay. You know, healing the masculine wounds, and when you're done emasculating men, your relationships will shift with men and money. We work on that in pleasure also. And that's really just life-changing all over the place. I think I've already said that once in this live, because it is. It's like super, every woman needs that. Because when you're projecting that onto yourself as well. So it's not only the men in your life, but yourself. And so, yeah, your relationships, I mean, let's be honest, men want queen of the streets, slut in the sheets. No man wants you to be the good girl in the bedroom, the shy, insecure one in the bedroom. That's not what they want. And trust me, that's not what you want either. So it's really unleashing the full you in your relationship. And if you think you're fully unleashed, well, I would just ask the question, like, what could I let go of and unleash more? Like, how can I be more me? We're always on a journey into more us, right? And so if you think you are fully sexually empowered, like, I promise you it can get better. So what can you do to make it better, or fully like embody yourself more, surrender deeper, or go further into vulnerability, further into submission with your own masculine? So So all little questions to ask. Anything else before I pop off? So yeah, National Orgasm Day should be every day. Pleasure, and not just sex, but I'm talking like time for yourself, doing things that make you glow. What makes you happy? Dressing how you want to dress, not how you think you should. What makes you feel most beautiful? Not hustling nonstop. Like, prepare your energy first. Like, be fully in your turned on orgasmic state before you do anything for your day or work. Or you know, I used to stay in my pajamas all day, and I realized at some point, even with my little kids, I was like, this does not feel good. So I just started getting dressed in real clothes, and I felt so much better. I mean, it's just little things like that. So that for me is pleasure, to put on real clothes, and whatever makes you feel sexy makes you sexy. Like, sexy is a state of being. When you feel sexy, you are sexy to everybody else too. When you're turned on, everybody else is attracted to you. So pleasure is about finding what turns you on in everyday life, not just sexually, but what makes you feel good. And most of us walk around causing ourselves a lot of suffering. And pleasure is about flipping that on its head and integrating the shadow of why we think we need to do that, and allowing more pleasure to come in all our lives. So via sex, via money, via business, via relationships. So yeah, the wealthy and well-fucked woman. So pleasure starts actually next week on the 6th. If you're in my group, Money Dominatrix, there's a little secret surprise for you that's good until Saturday. So you can find me in that group, Money Dominatrix. That's free to come play in there. You can work with me one-on-one. If being in a group makes you feel kind of like, yeah, it's a safe container. And being in a sisterhood is also very healing. Witnessing others, being witnessed is very, very powerful. Like, a container of women that are all on the same journey together is very powerful. So even if you're kind of squirmy about like, well, I don't want to talk about sex and stuff with other people, I think that sometimes those are the only containers that really allow you to come out, because everybody's there with you and to support you. So it's a very powerful container with other women that are going through it. And so, yeah, those are the ways to work with me currently. So get in pleasure. It's a 7-week course. You don't have to be live. Everything's recorded. Like, if you miss anything, it's recorded for you. You have me in the live Facebook. You have me like in my Energy and Facebook group, and on live Q&As. And yeah, the cost is $9.97 pay in full. However, if you get in Money Dominatrix, there is a coupon, whatever you call it, a special discount. There's affordable payment plans, so don't let money, like, if your soul's calling out for this, you can do it. Like, money, the payment plans are super reasonable. And yeah, so I'd love to see you guys in there. Every woman needs deeper pleasure. That is my mission. So yeah, do something nice for yourself today. It doesn't have to cost anything. It could just be telling your shitty voices to shut up. I don't know. Do something nice for you. It's all about pleasure. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining.